Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Frankie Corcoran. How's everyone doing on this beautiful day? We are getting into the spring, summer weather, and trust me, I couldn't be more happy about it. Before we start the show today, just got a little bit of advertising, just to plug some events that are going on in our city, including an event of our own. So that, of course, is, I've mentioned it on the podcast, the last few episodes, Love, Loss, and What I Wore, we are staging at James M. Hill, co-produced by myself and a very good number of community advocates. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so join us for an unforgettable evening of Love, Loss, and What I Wore. 5 dear friends, Judy Loge, Veronica Arsenault, Samantha Murphy, Rachel Bernard, Kara Scott, all come together for this very touching play, all in support of mental health awareness. Let's come together, celebrate the power of shared stories, emotions, and connections. Tickets are $20 and can be purchased at Brandon on the Boulevard, Townhill Jewelry, and Jonka 2 in Chatham, or you can get them through Eventbrite. And I'm so honored to be directing this piece. Everyone's doing a fantastic job, and I definitely think this is a story that lots of people should hear. It's a number of different stories because it's basically how women are affected by there's breast cancer, being self-conscious about your parents, anxiety, depression, all that stuff like that. So definitely, guys, be sure to come out and see it. It's a great piece, and just very much looking forward to showing everyone what we've been working on. And it's also at James M. Hill as well, which is great. I've never done a play there before. Have seen many over the years, but have never performed there. So this will be a new thing for me. So next up, I wanted to plug this Movie Go by Kareem Ademeyer. So Movie Go is a movie puzzle game where you guess the movie from the words used in the movie. If you see a bigger word, it means it was used more during the movie. So movies are obvious and some are pretty challenging. I guess that shows how diverse the script is. It is a free-to-play game without any ads. However, I'll need some assistance if I want to add more features to the game, such as leaderboards or people sending the game to each other via a custom link. By the way, this is from Kareem, by the way. These are his words, not mine. The most important goal is getting the game before more people. These days, it is very hard for something to grow organically because of how internet works. You either need to run ads or get mentions in social media / newsletters. Otherwise, people will not know you exist. Did you know that 60% of today's internet traffic is generated by bots? I was really surprised to hear that. And that's true. This is my words now. Unreal, like the amount that AI is taking over this world. He goes on, I am an entrepreneur with a passion for acting. Even recently performed in my very first play. I think everyone should try acting because it brings out the person inside of you, whether it is joy or sadness. Movies are examples of this and why we love them. Movie Go is a unique, fun puzzle for people who like this idea and want to remember how it felt during those moments. I want to bring the game to everyone. It is free to play because I want people to just play a game without having to worry about paying or watching an ad. This requires funding, and that's why we're here. With your support, we can keep the game going, grow our community, and improve it with new features. So you guys just hop onto Kickstarter and look up Movie Go, and definitely feel free to show some support for Kareem. Hopefully we'll get him on the podcast here at some point. So really interesting stuff, and really we want to support everybody. If from all walks of life in the entertainment industry, no matter what you're trying to do, how you're trying to grow. There's definitely something in it to help everybody out. You know what I mean? So anyways, definitely be sure to support that as well. I just think it's great what you're doing, Kareem. If you're listening to this, it's great to hear what you're doing for the community. So moving on to the show today. We are joined by our usual, one of our regulars of the podcast, my good friend, best friend, and brother from another mother, Shawn Doucet. We talk a little bit about his upcoming wedding, which is this year, solar eclipse, and a bunch of other fun stuff. We also give our thoughts on the Joker 2 trailer and what's the future of The Walking Dead after The Ones Who Live. We're going to go into spoilers on that, so anybody who hasn't caught up with it, just keep that in mind. I try to go into some of them non-spoilery, but then as you talk about what the future is going to be, it's like, well, it's kind of hard not to. So we ended up just spoiling it. So just bear that in mind, that there are spoilers for this. So, anyways, guys, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast today. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Frankie Corcoran. Today, I am joined by the co-host, major shareholder, executive producer, I don't know what you call him, of this podcast, Shawn Doucet, my main man, Shawn Doucet. What's going on, man?
I'm back again, buddy. I'm back again.
You're back again, and he said to me before we started, he said, "This is audio only, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Good," because I'm naked right now.
Oh my God. No, I did say that, but I was only joking.
He's like, or was I?
Or am I? Leave it up to the put a poll on Instagram.
Oh my God, you're giving me these ideas now. I'm gonna put that up now. Is Shawn naked during this podcast?
The thumbnail of the video is just me with like a picture of my face photoshopped on some body with like sensor bars over it. And you with like a wide eyes wide open face.
That's perfect.
Clickbait. And what would the title of that episode be?
Oh my God. It's funny because I didn't even have a title of the episode at the time of this recording, but now it's got to be something to do with naked.
You gotta make a funny thumbnail now.
Let's get naked. I actually don't normally do thumbnails, but for this one, I might have to.
Oh, that'd be funny. I would love it. Do it like what would be the name of the episode? Like
Let's Get Naked, right?
Birthday Suit Shenanigans.
Okay, perfect. Birthday Suit Shenanigans.
And then just put ... or like do a little like some kind of emoji.
See, this is what goes on behind the scenes of the show here. We just came up with the episode title right here, so you guys just witnessed it. This has never happened on the show. Birthday Suit Shenanigans, or should I say bachelor party shenanigans, because I mean, yeah, this guy here, you guys probably know, we've talked about before, this guy's getting married at the end of the year, or close to the end of the year. How are things going with that? You guys haven't broken it off yet, have you?
No, we're doing good. We're just doing a real small wedding now, so nothing crazy.
But I mean, like, what's your thoughts on like the big? Because I remember you and I were talking about that, about like the big and those big fancy weddings where you're spending thousands of dollars for like a 10-minute ceremony. Like, how do you see that? Is it worth it or what?
I've been to a lot of weddings, and I personally like. I don't blame anybody for doing them. Like, honestly, they can do it how they want. Like, if they want a big wedding, and like, I just find the ceremonies that I've been to are just really quick, and it's just like, oh yeah, and then you go or you go party, or you go do whatever. For me, I'm just like, I don't like it as much, and neither does Dana. So we were just like, why don't we just elope and have a party, like a party with all our friends and all our family, and just because that's the part everybody remembers the best. You don't remember the ceremony. Well, maybe the bride and groom remember the ceremony the best. But most of the weddings I've been to, the best stuff happens at the after party, or the reception, or the dance.
Yes, exactly. That's really the best of it. Well, because it's funny because you're blowing all this money on like 10 minutes. And like, don't get me wrong, like, if that's what people want to do, that's what people want to do. But I mean, like, there's many, because this was something I always never got with people. I mean, like, here's me, like, talk about this. I've never been married. I never had to plan my own wedding, yet anyway. But it's so funny when you hear of people stressing, oh my God, I'm so nervous for this wedding. Oh my God, I'm terrified. I'm scared. I'm like, are you having cold feet? Like, is that what you're having? Is that why you're nervous? Like, do you not want to marry the guy? Is that the vibe I'm getting here? You don't have any of that, do you? Does Dana have any of that?
No, not at all.
Like, it's weird. I never understood it.
Me neither. I don't know. I I you caught me at a loss for words. I don't know. I don't have cold feet or anything like that.
It,
I'm happy to be getting married, and you know what? The party for me and her, we think is the best part. You know, you're like we rented out like a cabin, which is nice, and we'll have everybody up there in tents and drinks and food. And I don't know, that's the best part. That's the part I'm looking forward to the most.
yeah, exactly. And
And
everyone
also
does it
the
differently.
yeah, and I get back to the part where you said about the vacation. The vacation, like, or sorry, not the vacation. I got ahead of myself. The like spending $8,000 to $10,000 on a wedding is fine if you want to do that. But like, why wouldn't you just want? I'd rather sooner spend $8,000 to $10,000 on a luxury vacation to go somewhere. And Dana 100% agreed with me. So we're just gonna do that and do our honeymoon and go. We haven't really decided where we want to go yet, but we have a few places in mind.
Like Disneyland or Los Angeles was one that you were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, Los Angeles. I think Alberta. There's lots of nice spots there. Or yeah, we did talk about Disney, like to go to Orlando and do Disney and Universal Studios and all that stuff.
You did Disney. When was that? The first time that you did Disney? That was what,
The first time when I was 10,
10,
and the second time when I was 16.
16? Yeah, I was gonna say. I said I know that you had went to a Disney quite a few times, but then it must be it'd probably be better for your honeymoon because then like when you're a kid, it's always like we have to follow like what the parents want to do. We got to follow this itinerary. We got to do this. We got to do this at this time. But with a honeymoon, it's let's just do whatever we want. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's the
whatever
best.
makes us happy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Happy wife, happy life. That's how it is. Um, there's no better way. There's no better way. And man, so excited for what's gonna happen. And bachelor party. The shenanigans that we'll get into with that. But I'm super stoked. We'll have to do a podcast from the bachelor party.
For any of the listeners that don't know, Frankie is actually my best man for my
Yes.
wedding.
and and
Even though we are eloping now, he still is the best man. I chose him as the best man.
exactly. And I mean, I was just like. I meing, like that's the hardest part about a wedding too, is who do you pick for what? Like especially not just be like who to be part of the wedding. Like it's okay, so you have your best man, and then the bride has the bridesmaids, and then inviting people. How did you deal with that? Because remember, that was one of the reasons you said that you wanted to just elope and get it done with, because you're like, boys, we're gonna have this at like the civic center if we're gonna invite all these people. Like, how did you manage that? Like, what was that process like?
Well, it's just like we were going down the list, and like I know people are like only invite your close family, but like a lot of my family is like close. Like I go over for Sunday dinners to family's house, and all my family is there. Or like for holidays, we go to places, and I know people are like, oh, well, you can cut a few people, and I was like, it just was us like going back and forth. Do we invite this person? But if we invite this person, we have to invite this person, or like if I invite one of my cousins, I have to invite like there's 16 siblings. So it was like trying to figure that out. And we were just at the end of it, we are like, why are we stressing out so much about this when we can just elope?
But see, yeah, exactly. That's it, because it's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. And if you're there stressing, it's like, is it really the happiest day of your life?
Yeah,
And like,
because
that's what.
you see people that like plan the wedding and then you on the day of they're like, oh, I'm so glad this is over. Oh my God. Like they're just it's like why would I subject myself to that?
I've seen people be less stressed over planning a funeral than a wedding. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, honest to God, I'd rather plan a funeral than a wedding.
You know what? Me too, man. Me too.
I would plan my own funeral right here on this
This was more. It's morbid, but the dead don't get pissed off. What kind of flowers they have?
or who's invited or what.
Yeah,
That's,
Holy shit.
it's true though. It's true. Like,
This is one of those segments that we'd maybe cut off, but I think we'll just leave it in. It's great.
no,
I
it's
mean, it's
fine.
honest. It is. It's honest. So,
That's the problem. Like, it's like let's just say what's on our well, I mean, to a degree. I mean, we'll say what's on our mind, but then if like other parts where it gets too like, okay, we got to trim this down because someone's gonna hear this and we're gonna get canceled. That's happened many times before on this show, and if we can avoid it, let's avoid it. But also, so we're recording this actually. How many? So when this is coming out, I'm thinking, when is this podcast okay, yeah. So the solar eclipse was last week. How did you spend it? Did you go to the big event at the wherever they were having that at the airport?
um, no, we just got let off work early, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home. I'm not super interested in it. And then Dana was watching it outside, and I was like, oh my god, it's starting to get like weird out. So I went outside, and then it started to get dark, and it was the full totality was really cool to see.
It was fantastic. Like, well,
Oh, where were
and
you?
I was one of those people. I was still at work. I was one of those people that I'm like, oh my god, people are making a mountain out of a molehill. Solar eclipse, who gives a shit? And then watching it was cool, but it was like I couldn't get over all the people who were making these trips to go all these different places to watch the eclipse. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I don't really care. All you got to do is just look up in the sky. To me, the view was going to be the same no matter where you are. You know, like there were people I heard were going up to like Niagara Falls. There were people coming down here from, all over the place. I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But
Oh, speaking of Niagara Falls, did you see the big scandal about that?
no, what's
There
that?
was so they sold like one hotel in Niagara sold quote unquote eclipse rooms, like you'd be facing the sun that
Oh,
the
yes.
time and day it happened.
I did hear about that.
And so they bought these real expensive rooms, and then it was cloudy, and no one seen it in Niagara Falls that day. And then they were trying to boycott these hotels because of the weather. And I'm just thinking, like, it happens. There was a chance the weather's not good that day.
That's so
Like, I
funny
just had to
though.
laugh. It's like I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Shit happens.
That's the funniest part. Like it's I feel so bad for the people who work in those or well, when people bitch about something that's beyond your control, especially the weather. Like, what do you mean my plane ticket was canceled? You blah 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 blah. It's like, well, I didn't, want it to rain, but here we are. Like, what do you want me to do? Oh my god, I find that so funny that they were giving up shit over the weather.
Yeah, no, up at my place it was nice and sunny.
It was
So I got
beautiful.
to see it.
Like I was, and then I went on TikTok. Apparently, this was from like what 5 years ago when the first, not it wasn't a total solar eclipse. It was an eclipse. I was finding out the difference between that the other day. A kid looked up in the sky and apparently got blinded. And there was this TikTok video of him going, "Dad, I literally can't see. I just took my glasses off for a second. I thought it was over." And then like it was actually like wild, man. Like like
I,
in
I wish I wish I could know the numbers. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was just thinking.
I wish I could know the numbers of like how many how many like eye accidents or eye injuries that happened over this. Like people thinking like, oh yeah, I can look at the sun, no problem.
Oh, it's got to happen though. Like, I mean, what few billion people on Earth, like, and you trust that not one person is going to want to look up. I want to see the eclipse for my own eyes. Like, you really think people are that smart?
I was actually kind of scared once I started seeing it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna put the glasses on and I'll only open one eye. If I go blind, then it's only in one eye. It's like I still have one good eye left.
What was the thing they were all saying in the group chat? We're like, I'm going to file for disability by looking at
Oh
the
my
solar
god, that
eclipse.
was I think that was the most shared post in the 48 hours before and after the eclipse. I'm gonna file disability. That's the number one post I've seen. Can't wait to file disability tomorrow. Can't wait to claim to get that disability check for blinding yourself.
just so stupid.
That's
Like
just dumb.
what good is money if you can't see?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like it. I just thought that was so funny. Oh my god. Dylan said that. Dylan Easty said that. Shout out Dylan. He put that in there. I thought he was the first one to say it, and then I went on TikTok and it was everywhere. I was like, oh shit.
Oh my God, it was everywhere.
Oh my
Like
god.
people like me rolling to the bank with my disability check from the eclipse. Like it's just nuts, insane.
Oh my god. Ozzy, stop that. Stop that. Sorry, the dogs eat friggin' with the pillow. Oh, speaking of dogs, by the way, how's Archie? Sean's sister just got a new dog, Archie, a few months ago. How's Archie making out?
Oh, he's good. He's really big now. He just chews everything.
Is he still
Chews the.
hyper?
Oh yeah. He does this like weird, I call it like horse galloping at night right before bed. He like gallops like a horse around the house. It's in like spins around like which we take him outside to tire him out and I don't know. He's just like super high energy and then just goes right to sleep.
Well, I remember Dana sent me the video. It was you guys were walking him on Snapchat. You had the leash, and I could tell you were getting so frustrated. Archie, come on. You were getting so
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah,
Like,
he was going and laying in the water in the ditch because he likes it was cold. So he's going down running down the ditch. Oh, he was just like we try to pull him or call him with treats and stuff, but then he would just lay down and roll over on his belly in the water. So he's just soaked and all muddy,
I
and just
love
happy
dogs,
as
but
can be.
I love dogs, but my God, they're stupid sometimes. Like I love them with all my heart. I love this dog with all my heart, but sometimes they're so dumb. What's it like having a dog back in the house? Because of course you lost your dog. You lost your first dog twice because you faked
Oh,
its death in middle school.
you gonna disclose that story on the podcast, right?
No, you go ahead. This is your story.
No, no,
You're the.
I feel like you tell it better, and I thought we've told tell. Let me try that again. I thought we told that story on the podcast
I don't
before.
think we did we? I can't remember because we've done how many episodes with you now. I don't think we ever told that story.
I think 5 or 6 now. Oh anyway for the people who don't know who are just listening to this episode, my dog died a very tragic death when I was in grade 6, and it was very sad. And that is that, right, Frankie?
That's not
There's no
it.
more to
Keep
that
it
story.
going. Keep it going. There's more to it.
You tell the rest. You
Okay.
tell it better.
In grade 6, we were supposed to do a playing test, and I don't know why our teacher went this way where she'd say, okay, anyone who has blue eyes, you're playing your test today. And like, okay, I don't know why she would go that route. Um, so one day she said, okay, guys, whoever has a dog, play. Sean puts his instrument away. We're like, Sean, you have a dog. No, she died yesterday. And we're like, oh my God, we're so sorry for your loss. And all that. It was all sad. I was like, oh shit. I actually like Sasha a lot, the dog Sasha. And then Sean's birthday was that weekend. I went to his house on Saturday and his dog greeted me at the door. I'm like, Sasha, you're alive. Sean's like, yeah, I lied.
Yeah, I got out of that test for 2 days.
But then unfortunately she did actually pass away in real life, and then I didn't believe you at
Oh yeah,
first.
but
I'm
like
like,
10 years later, 10 years later to clarify, not directly after the fact.
yeah, directly after the fact. No, 10 years later, we're at a school and Sean says that. I'm thinking like, okay, like what are you trying to get out of today? Like doing your taxes or something?
No, no, Frankie, that poor dog was actually dead.
I was like, oh shit, she's gone. I feel so bad we're laughing, but like she was a great dog. She was a great dog. It was just the circumstances the first time was just so ridiculous.
It's terrible because everybody believed it, but at the same time, I didn't want to do my test in front of everybody. I wasn't
But,
ready. I wasn't ready, so
but
I had to make sacrifices for the good of myself.
what's that quote from Thanos about all I can't remember what he says. Something
Oh
about
my God,
sacrifice. A life for a
I
life or
can't.
something like that.
A soul for a soul.
A soul for a soul. Fucking Sean throws the dog off the cliff.
Oh my, no, 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 I wouldn't do
No,
that.
I'm sorry.
I guess metaphorically I did that, but not really. Not physically.
Not literally. Oh my God. This went from us talking about a wedding to dying dogs in 2 seconds.
All right. Next topic.
Happy Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. Okay, we had to tell that story, guys. I don't know. You might have heard it before, but I had to tell it
And I
again.
just want to clarify for the audience that was Frankie's fault.
Wasn't me when it was my fault.
Frankie brought it up. He brought up the morbid story about my dog, and I feel very bad.
It was a
So
good story.
hashtag cancel Corcoran Entertainment.
Well, it's funny because nowadays people would hear that and go, okay, and they would actually try because he made a joke about a dog. I didn't make a joke about a dog. I was just
It was a different time then. You don't know what the tests were like.
exactly. But why did she do that? I don't know why that was the way to do the test. Anybody who has this, anybody who has that, people are gonna bullshit it.
Well, Frankie, we were only 10, 11 years old.
Well, still though, I'm just like anybody could have lied about it. Anybody who yeah, we're 10, 11. Anybody who is not a virgin play the test. Like,
Oh my God. Okay, that's gonna get you canceled.
I'm sorry.
Hashtag boycott Corcoran Entertainment.
I'm sorry. Okay, what were we talking about? Okay, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. We're moving on now. So yeah, guys, entertainment. So speaking of entertainment,
Oh my God. What a transition.
what was that a good transition or was it a bad transition?
No, that was let's just move on. Let's
let's
cut
let's
that out.
move on. Joker 2, guys. The Joker 2 trailer just came out. This is a big one here. We got to focus on this. Joker Folie A Deux coming out this October. The trailer just came out. I know it's a good trailer when Kyle Easty, who unfortunately, he always joins us for these, he wasn't able to today. I know it's a good trailer when going into Joker 2, he's like, I have no interest in watching this movie. It's blah, 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 this and that. He watched the trailer and said he loved it. That's how you know it's a good trailer. I thought this trailer too was fantastic. What did you
Yeah,
think of the trailer?
he did say that, eh? He did
He
say that in one of
did.
the previous podcast episodes. He's like, I'm not interested in it. It's gonna be bad. Like, and
Yeah,
now
because
he's like
he
head
doesn't
over
like
heels for it.
he doesn't like Lady Gaga either. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's your opinion, but I mean, I like Lady Gaga as an actress. But overall, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I never watched the trailer.
Are you fucking kidding me? I thought you watched the trailer.
No, I never. You know what? Even though I never watched the first Joker.
You still didn't watch the first?
I never watched the trailer for the second one, and I know it like shows a lot about mental health and stuff, and I just can't do the Joker without Batman. I can't. It's not the Joker without Batman.
But there's still pieces of Batman there. Like there's still a little bit of the Wayne family, scattered throughout it,
Where? Where? Okay, tell me a specific point in the movie, in one of the movies or the trailer for the second one, where there's.
Well, not in the second one, but in the first one, the first Joker movie, there's of course Thomas Wayne is in it.
That's boring. I want Batman. I want the man himself, the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader.
Well, there's technically his father, the guy who birthed him. You know what I mean? Or not birthed him, his mother birthed him.
So boring. So unbelievably boring.
So boring. Really, I was surprised. I thought that you were actually intrigued by a Joker. I'm pretty sure that's a lie. I'm pretty sure that you saw the first Joker because we were talking about it one time.
No, I don't think I've seen the first Joker. I'm 99.9% sure.
Your memory might just be fuzzy, but it's okay. But I mean, overall, man, the trailer was fantastic. I absolutely loved the trailer. It was like look, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not too I'm not always big on movies that okay, the first one was great, just leave it be. And that's what Joker was supposed to be. Joker was supposed to be just a standalone film, no sequel. Then $1 billion came floating their way, and they're like, okay, well, we kind of got to do a sequel now because, it would be absolutely stupid business wise not to do a sequel. So they did a sequel, they filmed it, and Joaquin Phoenix agreed to it. And he apparently didn't want to do it at first, but then he read the script and said, okay, I'll do it. So must be a pretty damn good script if if they are making it and if Joaquin Phoenix said yes to it. But also, I never liked the films that were supposed to be standalone films, but then they just added sequels onto it because of money. But with Joker, I think it's going to be a different deal. What are your thoughts on like movies that are just meant to be standalone, nothing else to it, and then sequels get added on? Are there any that might have surprised you in years that went by, or
Um, Movies that I would say like Robert Pattinson Batman, like nobody thought it was going to be good, and then it just like surprised everybody. It went viral. Like they could do that and never do a sequel, and I think I'd be all right with that. That is a good, no, not just a good. I think it's a fantastic Batman standalone.
it was the bat? Well, I mean, my critique with it was it was too long. That Batman movie was way too long. I think they could have trimmed it down like 20 minutes. Like there was a lot of slow parts to it, but overall it was, I thought, like a perfect Batman movie. Uh but yeah, that's one. I mean, like as soon as people heard that Robert Pattinson was Batman, I knew that there was an immediate, oh yeah, this movie's done. Like they're not going to get a sequel. This is it. It's done. This is a one shot. Like it was just, people were just not on board with it whatsoever. But overall, I mean, like I'm looking forward to a whole bunch. They're doing the Penguin series as well too.
Yeah,
Um,
you know what? I am sort of interested in that more than the Joker, but I don't know if I'll tune in because it just doesn't have Batman in it. It's like a sandwich. You can't have one half of a sandwich without the other bread.
that's actually a pretty good analogy. Or like an Oreo cookie without the cream in the middle.
Yeah, it's just cookie.
It's
Who
just a
cares?
it's just a cookie. It's still good, but it would be better with the cream. That feels weird to say,
Oh my
but
God. Yes. Yes, Frankie.
it feels weird with the cream. But do you think maybe they might be milking it a little bit? I mean, if they are doing, I mean, like they're not just doing the Joker 2, but they're also doing, the Penguin, they're doing they're probably, and then of course they're doing the Batman 2. Do you think they might be milking it a bit? Is it a smart move to
Well,
do it in your opinion?
the only thing I could see is if they merge the cinematic universes and maybe have a Joker that's Joaquin Phoenix that's a bit older, and Robert Pattinson's a little bit of a younger Batman, so him like as he is now, or maybe like do a time skip, and then do the Penguin solo series, and then have that lead into the second Batman movie, and him Penguin be either a side or supporting main member of the cast. Do you know what I mean of the story?
Yeah, absolutely. Like merge the universes basically, because I,
I
I
just
thought maybe that's where they were going with it, but I
but
think I think they're just keeping it two separate as far as I'm concerned.
before people say like, "Hey, you just don't like Joaquin Phoenix," I love Joaquin Phoenix's acting. I loved him in Walk the Line as Johnny Cash. I think that was
Yes,
amazing. He was amazing,
fantastic.
like the singing and everything. So, and he's done a few other roles, and I think he's wasn't he nominated for an Emmy or an Oscar for
Oscar, he won a best actor at the Oscars for Joker.
yeah. So like he obviously has skill. I don't know. It's not my type of movie. I don't think.
I love Joker because I mean, to be honest, when I saw the trailer for the first Joker movie, I was like, okay, this is cool, but like you, a Joker or like a Joker movie without Batman, I'm like, oh, okay. Watched it and I was blown away. I'm like, this is fantastic. Then they announced the sequel and I was iffy. Um, like yeah, like so I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm super stoked for Joker 2, and I think Joaquin Phoenix has another shot at another Oscar nomination. Maybe I think maybe Lady Gaga has an Oscar nomination coming for her way. um did you watch Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born? Because everybody says she
I
can't act.
I've never seen her act, so I have no opinion.
Okay, she's fantastic. People say she can't act to save her life, but I'm like, okay, you clearly haven't seen A Star Is Born. And
You know what? I'll take this one thing. As Kanye said, I am not educated enough on the subject to make an informed comment.
but Kanye says that, and then he says the stupidest shit.
Oh no, no, I know. That's the one thing I took from that, not the anti-Semitic bad stuff.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's perfect. That'll be on your tombstone. That's gonna be on your tombstone. That quote there.
Yeah, I am not educated enough on the subject to make an informed comment.
On death. So yeah, Joker 2 comes out. What's the date? I just want to see here. What is the date? It's October. It's actually, believe it or not, I did my list of top 10 or top 5 most anticipated films of the year. I put Joker 2 as number 1. Deadpool 3 was number 1 at first. It comes out October 4th. Deadpool 3 was at first, but then as we heard more about Joker 2, I just said, I don't know. Joker 2 just seems to, I don't know. There's something about it. You're such a Deadpool fan. Deadpool 3 and Joker 2, we've seen both trailers, or well, you haven't seen the trailer for Joker 2 yet, or Joker, but which would you be more excited for, Joker 2 or Deadpool 3?
Well, I definitely Deadpool 3, but I'm super biased. Like but I like Marvel and DC. It's just that Joker, though, if it was like a Batman versus Joker movie, or Batman insert name here with the Joker in it, like he as not Heath Ledger, sorry, with Joaquin Phoenix, I think it'd be fantastic. It would be a hard toss up because I like Batman and Joker, but I also like Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine is one of the most iconic comic duos ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And like with Hugh Jackman, no one, Frankie, when the first Deadpool movie came out, what was the one thing we all said? We were like, oh my God, man, if Hugh Jackman like came back as Wolverine,
Yes,
like it would be crazy. Like
we did
if
say
he
that.
ended up doing it.
But then Logan came out the next year, and we're like, okay, it's not going to happen. And now here we are. It's happening, and we saw the trailer, and it's fantastic. And yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I think Deadpool and Wolverine's going to be great. But oh my God, there's still something about Joker 2, man. I see that trailer and everything leading up to it. It just has me so excited. I just think it's going to be,
You know what? I'll watch the trailer tonight and we'll discuss it on the next episode I'm on.
perfect. I thought you had watched it. I was pretty sure this happens every time we do it. Remember the second episode we did of the podcast? We were doing a review of No Way Home, and Kyle's like, "Yep, going to see No Way Home tonight." We got to the episode, and Kyle's like, "Yeah, I still didn't see it." I'm like, "You fucking kidding?"
Or the episode that he came on like 2 hours late.
Oh yes, the 100th episode, right at the very end, he tagged on. I'm like, "Are you kidding me, Kyle?"
What episode is this? What number is this?
This is 120. It's in the title
my God.
of the.
It's been that long. 20 some episodes.
123. Yeah, 123.
So it's been 23 episodes since I've been on.
23 episodes. Yeah, probably 23 episodes.
22.
I'd say, because you've done quite a few. You've done quite a few of them. You're still the co-host. You know what I mean? So
Part-time co-host.
Part-time
slash
co-host.
Director slash editor slash. Well, you're the editor, I guess.
Yeah. You don't edit shit.
I'm the silent partner.
The silent partner. Exactly. But then you also give your insight. And it's funny also. So first off, guys, let me know your thoughts on Joker 2 trailer. Are you guys excited for it? Deadpool 3 versus Joker 2. What's going to be better? Let me know your thoughts about Joker. And I want to talk about for our last, big discussion topic today, The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead's a big thing. We just saw the end of The Ones Who Live. I can't promise we're not going to give spoilers away here because as we're talking about it,
definitely spoiler warning right now. Spoiler 100% warning.
Because I'll say spoiler warning or like I'm like, yeah, I'll keep this non-spoiler, and then I talk about it and then I spoil something. I'm like, oh shit. So then
we won't be able to talk about it without spoiling it because it's a sequel
hard.
Series, sort of.
And like, so yeah, when I did my non-spoiler review, that was non-spoiler, but we've given it a couple weeks. I think, people who want to watch it probably have watched it already. So yeah, The Ones Who Live. Shawn, what's your opinion on the whole Ones Who Live? It's funny. First off, did you ever think we'd be living to say the day, or like we would live to see the day that we would see these Rick Grimes movies that weren't actually movies that turn into a TV show?
Man, I think that was podcast episode number 1 and 2 that we were like, I'll have to go and rewatch them because we discussed the fate of the show and like what would happen and like is it going to come out and they're just going to cancel it. Like it was It just seems like that wasn't too long ago that happened, but it was quite a while ago that we discussed that.
Episode 2, I believe it was. We called it The Waiting Dead, and the topic was, are the Rick Grimes movies going to happen? And I think we were all, I think if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. You and Kyle said no, they're not going to happen. I was still optimistic, but I was kind of like 50-50, if I remember
Like we
correctly.
waited years for it, and then just boom, it's all done now.
Exactly. Well, so technically you and Kyle were right because the movies didn't happen. We did get Rick back, but we didn't get the movies. But seeing the ones who live, would you have preferred it, like before we delve into what's going on with it, would you have preferred it as a movie or would you have preferred it as what we got,
You know
which was
what?
a six episode?
That's what I was just gonna say about it. I like it better as a series. It's like a 6 hour movie essentially, and I don't know. I really like it. I only watched the first 2 episodes, and I already know what happens at the end because TikTok spoiled it. But
And then watching it
you know
online.
what? After I watched the first episode, I was like, holy shit! I was like, Andrew Lincoln, the guy, like if anybody doesn't know, obviously the guy who plays Rick Grimes, he carries the show. He
Mhm.
just does. And you know, you could say it's scripts but his acting, oh, it was just like this is why The Walking Dead died. They got rid of him. That is why.
Well, technically they didn't get rid of him. He got rid of himself because he left. And it's funny how people will always say, how could they kill him off? It's like, well, no, first off, they didn't kill him off. And second, he left the show because he wanted to leave the show. But then he
Right,
wanted to come
right.
back and finish the story.
Oh
Um,
my God, he carried the entire show.
oh, he did, absolutely. And also the one thing that I love about this is that he was actually a co-creator of The Ones Who Live. So he had creative control of it as well, too. So I think that helped. I think it's some of his best work. If I mean, like, am I wrong in thinking that? On like all
Yeah,
nine shows?
no, you're not wrong at all. I like the part where he cuts off his hand, and it's like people were waiting for that since season one to happen. Like, because that happened in the comics where he lost his hand, and somehow when he lost his hand, he became even more badass.
It was even better. And I was worried, like I always said for years on the show, I'm like, I hope they don't do it because I don't know. I'd like to see Rick in action. I don't want him to be,
Far,
for
far the
one.
Rick from the comics.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really want to see that. And then when they did cut off his hand, it made him, like you said, even more badass. And we got some of the best Rick Grimes moments. But with
Yeah,
how The Ones Who Live ended, I mean, of course, like the show, um, the ending felt kind of rushed. It almost felt like at the end it was like the first 5 episodes were great. I think episode 4, I believe, yeah, episode 4 was one of the best episodes in all of the franchise, in my opinion. Honest to God, I really do. But then once we got to episode 6, it felt like the writers looked at it and went, "Oh shit, we gotta wrap this up now." Okay, and then send Rick home. Like that's what it felt like to me. I was like, "Oh my God," it felt so rushed. There was so much wasted potential. Were you satisfied just seeing how it all came together in the end?
yeah. I mean, I still have to watch a few of the episodes, but like I was satisfied with the ending. But maybe I'll change my opinion after I finish it. But it's like, oh, it's just the show. Like it started off so unbelievably strong with the first 2 episodes that I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy. Like I was like, maybe they'll do a season two. Like since it's so good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's what we're. I was gonna ask you. What's the story? Like, do you, like people are saying, oh, there's more story for season 2. There's this and that. My opinion, I don't think you do a season 2. I just think where it ended, Rick finally coming back home. What more do you do? Like, in my opinion, I mean, like, do you agree with that? Is there more story or?
No, well, the only story, like, I'm just like, all right, it can end there, but we still need to also finish up. Like, there's another season of Dead City, right, coming.
Right, and Daryl Dixon as well is coming
So
out
they need
too.
to finish those two. I think if they have another season of both shows and finish it out, then I think The Walking Dead can die peacefully. But I think I don't know. You know what? I don't want to say because I was skeptical about the Rick series, and then I ended up being blown away.
Yeah, it
So
was absolutely stellar. Like it was very,
I
and
think the lower episodes and the higher tier budget, I think really helped.
Oh, 100. They had like a $80 million budget for the show for all 6 episodes,
Yeah,
which it really showed. It was really,
that's more than Game of, well, I think Game of Thrones was $10 million an episode. So
oh
it was more
God.
than Game of Thrones.
We got $80 million, and that's for
Or
all
no,
six
no,
episodes.
it's $100 million for a season of Game of Thrones. So it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the Game of Thrones.
Pretty damn close though. And I mean, like you can tell that they used their budget up. That's for sure. I wish the ending wasn't so rushed, but ultimately I was glad that we got what we wanted. Rick reunited with his family and everything's good. I'd be fine if we didn't see Rick again. Like if that was the end of Rick and we didn't see any more of him, I'm like, okay, I'd be happy with that. Dead City, I think could continue. Daryl Dixon, I think could continue.
Yeah, because those are the other strong characters that helped finish off The Walking Dead and got it to where it was at.
Yeah, exactly. And I love Dead City. Dead City, I think it is a terrific show. So I'd be happy with seeing that go for, a couple more seasons as long as they keep it fresh and it's not just they don't
Yeah,
fall in.
I really like Dead City.
Oh, it was fantastic. I thought it was fantastic. And Daryl Dixon wasn't as good in my opinion, but I know
You
people
know what?
might.
I liked it, but it was just like it just felt kind of. I feel like if they would have released the Rick series, then the Daryl series, then maybe it would have. I don't know. There's no right. It just felt a little like dragged on.
Yeah, and there were some things wrong with it, but I think well also Carol's coming into season 2. I think that's going to help a lot because I think she's one of
Yeah,
the best characters in the franchise.
but
Uh
it's like Daryl's out there alone, which is like okay, cool. Like we've seen him do that before, but we want one of the other strong leads to be with him to help move the show along.
yeah, exactly, and not some of the new annoying characters who we've had, which some of them, they grow on you, but then you're also like, like we want like Carol, we want maybe Negan, maybe both shows, like who
I,
knows?
I'm I'm interested to see if Carol is in season two, like the full season or just one episode.
No, I'm pretty
Like
sure the full
at
season
the end,
because
because she's not over in France yet.
no, she's not. But the season is they're giving season 2 the title The Book of Carol. So Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. So it'd be kind of weird to call the season that and then kill her off in the first episode or
Do you
have her.
think? Do you think she Daryl's going to be in it, or is it going to be Carol traveling to Paris?
Oh yeah, Daryl's in it. There's already like trailers and stuff for season 2. Daryl's in it, but it's just Carol's gonna be. This is where Carol kind of steps in as like a second main character kind of thing. So it's like
Okay.
the Daryl and Carol show like they originally intended to, because it was supposed to be them both from the start, and then Melissa McBride wanted out because I don't know what it was behind the scenes shit was going on, and then season 2 they worked it out. Now she's in season 2, so yeah, I think she'll be in it all the way through. I mean I can't see them killing any of them off. They're such money makers too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. There's a pause. He was thinking about that.
Sorry, just thinking about it.
No, it's okay. But overall, so yeah, so basically summed up the thoughts. Walking Dead, Rick Grimes' story could end right there. Michonne's story could end there. I'd be fine if Dead City and Daryl Dixon went on, but how do you stand on that? So, what's your summarized thoughts on the future of the franchise?
You know what? I'm comfortable where it's going right now. I really don't think that unless there's a crazy script that like blows up and goes viral on the internet when the trailers comes out. But for the Daryl show and the Dead City show, I think should only be one more season, and then at the end of it all, they all meet back up at Alexandria, and then it skips to RJ or Judith in like 15, 20 years later, and they're all grown up.
Hopefully with a new actor.
The end of the Walking Dead comics. Like it's like old man Carl, but instead it'll be old man RJ or old woman Judith talking about the time with the walkers and this and that, and like it becomes like a carnival show almost. Like the walkers are like non-existent now and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, if they do the old man RJ, he takes some acting lessons because I'm really not wasn't a fan of. I mean, like nothing against the actor or anything, but I mean, it was his performance during the reunion scene was awful. It was bad. It was so bad. Like, am I alone in that? Like, was that
I
not
I kind of understand it. Like you kind of have like he's young enough where he's like he doesn't know who his dad is. He never met his dad, and his mom was gone most of his life. So
true? I
it's like a
remember
kind of like a stunned.
it just threw me off. Like, they're just just walks up. Are you the brave man? I believe that you would come back. Like, it was just so robotic. I'm like, oh my
Okay,
god,
that
dude.
part I'm just like I thought it was a little funny.
It was. I was like, really? I'm like, now, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, child actors, I get it, but I was like, oh god, could they have done better? I mean,
But
anyways, that's
Rick is also like a he's also like a he's kind of like a fairy tale hero for all the people that are still living in like Alexandria and all that stuff.
oh, he is. Well, god, like one of the best characters in all of TV, period. Like, there's no question about that. I think he's going to go down in like the history books as one of the best characters of all time. Like, just how he's been in the comics, TV show. And if this is where his story ends, then hey, I'm happy with it. But I mean, as long as if he comes back, I hope it's worth it. I hope it's not just a cash grab. Let's make more money. Like Joker 2, although Joker 2 I think is gonna be good. But anyways, we're going on back and forth. But yeah, so that's our thoughts on that, guys. We're interested to hear where everyone else stands on that. If you still watch The Walking Dead, who knows? Maybe you don't even watch it anymore. You're like, walking what? Wait, they're still doing that? Um, but that's gonna wrap it up for the show today, guys. I want to thank Shawn. Shawn, it's always a blast having you on, buddy. And I mean, like, our paths are gonna cross within, the next little while, I'm sure.
Probably
Like, we
the
talk
next
a little.
week for sure.
Definitely next week. I'm going to Shawn's tonight. Not kidding.
We're doing a sleepover. We're making blanket and pillow forts.
We're having a slumber party.
Yeah.
oh, oh my god! Always a blast, though, buddy. And thanks for coming on, taking
Thanks for having
time.
me on, Frankie. I appreciate it.
Taking time out of your busy schedule, like, oh, wedding planning. Okay, let's go do a podcast. And here we are now.
Yeah, it happens.
Shit.
You got lots going on too, all your plays and stuff. You're a busy man.
Oh, we're surviving, buddy. We're
Showbiz,
surviving.
baby, showbiz.
Showbiz. That's showbiz, buddy. Yeah, you gotta love it. So, guys, thanks so much for watching the show today. Thanks Shawn Doucet for coming on. So thank you guys so much for listening to the show. We'll see you next week. Until then, this is Frankie and Shawn signing off. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Woo!
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.